Good morning, Buzz. How are we doing?
Very well. How are you, Alex?
I'm very good, sir. I'm very good. Yeah, fire away. What do we have? Pretty good one.
So we've got one of Paul Thomas Anderson's latest, Licorice Pizza, which focuses on a nice young chap, 15-year-old Gary. Gary Valentine, which is quite a cool name, isn't it?
What a name.
Yeah. Who's already got a quite extravagant acting career as a child actor, who meets the potential love of his life, which is Alana, and she's just at the time, she's 28, I think she expresses in the first few minutes of the film, and she takes pictures of like college kids for like yearbooks and what have you, and it's a kind of a rom-com. It's a love story, isn't it, really, at heart, Alex?
More or less. Yeah, coming of age rom-com film, which is very rare these days.
One that isn't cheesy as well.
Well, first of all, there is a little bit of an age gap between them, but also they're thinking way differently. And this is in the 70s, in somewhere in Hollywood, in San Fernando Valley, I think they call it in the beginning. And he's a child actor. He's not amazingly popular, but he has some, some popularity around the acting scene, and she is just working as, like you said, as a photographer, and she has another job at a sweets shop or something, or a restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was a restaurant, wasn't it, that she had another job at? Yeah.
And he's very determined. He's got this hustling about him all the time, looking for starting a new business and trying to get into side gigs to make some extra money, and
like an entrepreneur, really.
Yes, and he's very. He looks like he's like 14 or something like that. And obviously, she's in a. All this happens in a very unique time of the world in California, where you had the conservative religious families that she comes from. With all the restrictions that comes, another thing that I noticed was the fact that she comes from a family where the whole family needs to be around mom and dad and either work for them or do their jobs around the house and things like that. So that's just the premise. And then for some reason, they stick together and they go through all these adventures together.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of mind games, isn't there, with the adventures and what have you? Because a lot of the film, Alana and Mr. Valentine, they're not really together as such, are they? There's a lot of periods of the film where they'll see each other from across the room, or they're with different parties of people, and there's a lot of maybe we'd describe it as jealousy, from one another, because Gary will be hanging around with females that she doesn't approve of, and vice versa as well. There's a particular segment where Alana's hanging around with Sean Penn's character. And he's meant to be a bit of a hot shot in the acting directing world. There's a lot of this going on, and I think it's good tension, really, because obviously with all this, with backdrop of him being 15 and she's 28, so like I guess you could say it really is like true love, because there is such a big age gap. Would be interesting to see if it was role reversal though, because if it was a 28-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl, it wouldn't really be the same film, would it? I don't think anyone would want to watch that. But yeah,
it's interesting you say there's tension, is because tension comes when you care. So you obviously get to care for these characters very early in the game, and that's just a sign of a proper good romantic comedy, good acting, good scenery, well played, good dialogue, and. Well, let's talk about the actors, Buzz, because that was quite a surprise to find out, wasn't it, about Gary?
Yeah. Also, when I first started watching the first half of the film, and then I was thinking to myself, I said, Gary in the film, it really reminds me of Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then we found out that his second name is actually Hoffman.
Cooper Hoffman.
So Cooper Hoffman. So he's doing his dad justice. He's a great little actor, and I would definitely looking out for his name in future films. He's got that same kind of presence on screen. Really, it's that kind of same confidence of the delivery of lines and stuff like that. And slightly
Well,
chubby face as well, and
we
it's
know
just
Philip Seymour Hoffman, the dad, was good friends with friends in
PTA,
like a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson's films.
Yeah, he was.
And
Wasn't
there's
he?
another. I don't know if you noticed, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there's another nod to Philip Seymour Hoffman from the director. This time is because they start a mattress business, don't they? He's in this
Yes,
film,
and
right?
yes, and in Punch Drunk Love there was, I believe, Philip Seymour Hoffman owned a mattress shop.
Correct.
Was it? Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's funny
He's the
because
mattress man. That's what he is.
that's it. Yeah,
in
that's it.
Punch
And it's funny
Drunk
because
Love.
Punch Drunk Love was also kind of almost a romantic comedy, albeit a weird one. And it looks like PTA knows how to do this sort of genre. And
absolutely.
you know, the characters are relatable because they're not supermodels and they do have their imperfections. Like Gary, it can almost be a bit arrogant almost because he's so confident at such a young age. And then Alana seems to have a lot of anger problems, doesn't she? She seems to lose her rag quite a bit, and it's refreshing to see. It's not cheesy, it's not perfect.
It's not
true.
polished. It's not that the world that they create is rough, and they go through parts of the film when it's a bit darker, when they do have this adventure with the fuel crisis
Yes.
in the 70s, and but then you get the comedic moments, which is the one that we've just seen. But then when all these big actors turn up in the film, you're like, whoa, there's Sean Penn, there's
Bradley Cooper as well.
There's other moments like that. Bradley Cooper, and they don't play just normal characters. They play these weirdos. And the film looks beautiful. Also, it just literally you're seen there in the scene with their date is how that's shot outside of the diner. It looks beautiful, and it's just on and on goes like that all the time, and it's just a pleasure to watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I watched it on Amazon, Buzz. Where did you see it? Where did you find it?
Amazon as well. Yeah. But all PTA films look great, don't they? And did you also notice there was a lot of scenes of the two main characters they were running quite a lot. Now that was definitely a theme, so there'll be just a scene where someone's walking and then they start a slow jog and then they end up running. I think that happened about 5, 6, 7 times in the film, and then there was actually one point where it was synchronized, so where Alana was running in one direction and then Gary was running in the other, and they actually end up meeting. And I don't know what that was in the film for, but it was quite prevalent, wasn't it?
And all the time is towards each other. Across the film, whenever they run in the opposite direction of the other, which makes them run towards each other.
Yes, yeah.
Which makes it almost gives you a feel that fate is redirecting them towards each other or something like that. So it's in the stars for the two of them. So to meet, but what a very very well put together built film, and very nicely, a very pleasant watch, to be honest.
It's the least you'd expect from PTA as well, isn't it? He's got that high standard now, and I haven't seen a bad film from him, so this one gets a thumbs up too.
Correct. Yeah. Okay, Licorice Pizza, I think it's called. It's on Prime Video. But yeah, good view. I'll see you next week, sir.
Take care. See you, Alex.
See you later. Bye bye.